By ancient law, the one who wins becomes king. No sword, no armor, just a wooden spear. That was enough. The valley was silent, save for the wind and the soft hum of anticipation. On the high ridge above, the stone watchers, the elders of the realm, stood cloaked in gray, unmoving. Below them, on sacred earth stained by the battles of 1,000 generations, two warriors face each other. One wore gleaming black armor, forged from obsidian mined in the Shatter's Pine Mountains. His sword, curved and cruel, had tasted blood since before he was born. Prince Halrex, first son of the Steelblood dynasty, heir to the throne by birth and blade. The other wore a tunic of rough-spun cloth. No armor, no shield, only a wooden spear, carved by hand from the sacred hearthwood tree that grew in the center of his village. That spear had never tasted blood. The villagers called him Kael, and Kael was not supposed to be here. The challenge of the spear was an ancient rite, older than kings and kingdoms. When bloodlines failed or succession was disputed, the gods demanded a trial. No armies, no magic, no tricks, just two challengers. One weapon, the wooden spear. No armor, no help, no mercy. By ancient law, the one who won would become king. Prince Halrex had expected to face an old warlord, perhaps a disgraced noble with nothing left to lose. Instead, he was given Kael, a nobody from the outer provinces, barely old enough to shave. This is an insult. Halrex spat as the herald announced the terms. But the law was the law, and Kael had invoked it with single breath, stepping forward during the king's burial pyre. The realm was without a ruler. The challenge was open. Now here they stood. The signal horn sounded. Halrex surged forward like a storm, sword gleaming under the morning sun. He was fast, terrifyingly so, and Kael barely had time to roll aside as the obsidian blade carved through the air. The prince did not waste time. He pressed, slashing, cutting, testing. Kael backed away, keeping his distance, gripping his wooden spear tight. It was light, almost laughably so. No match for steel. But it was never meant to match. It was meant to remind. The spear was the weapon of the people. Farmers, shepherds, hunters. In the oldest days, it was all they had. And sometimes it was enough. Halrex grinned behind his helmet. Run, little mouse. Run until I get bored. Kael didn't reply. He just kept moving, circling, breathing slow and steady. Every move the prince made, he read it. Every overreach, every footfall. He had trained for this, not with masters of war, but with the wind and the rain and the rhythm of the earth. His spear had no magic, but his hands were sure, his stance unyielding. He struck once, lightning fast. A shallow cut along Halrex's thigh. The prince blinked. That won't happen again, he growled. But it did. Again and again. Kael was a shadow, always just out of reach, his spear flicking like a serpent's tongue. The crowd, silent at first, began to murmur. Kael's father had been a woodsman, his mother a healer. He'd grown up watching animals fight for territory, for mates, for life. He'd seen how the stag beats the wolf, not with force, but with timing. And he'd learned something else too. Pride kills. Halrex fought like a champion. Kael fought like a survivor. When the prince lunged high, Kael ducked low and swept his leg. When the sword came sideways, Kael jabbed straight. Every move was simple, efficient, taught not by a master, but by necessity. The spear began to crack at the tip. It didn't matter. He only needed it to last long enough. Halrex's strikes became erratic, sloppy. Anger clouded his precision. His armor weighed heavy now, and Kael could see the fatigue in his shoulders. Every breath the prince took was loud, rasping. He wasn't used to being hunted. Kael whispered silent thanks to the tree that gave him this weapon. Then he moved. It happened fast. Kael feinted right, then leapt left. The prince turned, sword raised, and Kael drove the butt of the spear into his foot. Halrex stumbled. The sword dipped. Kael spun the spear, reversed his grip, and drove it straight into the prince's chest plate, cracking it with a hollow thud. Halrex fell. His sword skittered across the sacred earth. Kael stood over him, the tip of the broken spear at his throat. The stone watchers raised their hands. The duel was over. The gods had seen. The people watched in stunned silence as the armored prince was led away. Kael remained still, breathing hard, hands red with splinters and sweat. A boy no longer. That night, on the firelight, the realm whispered a new name. Kael the spear-bearer. He was crowned by moonrise. No golden circlet, no jeweled scepter. Only the worn spear, repaired and wrapped in linen, held high for all to see. By ancient law, he had won. By his own will, he had endured. And that was enough.